If I do not fill myself with good thoughts, all peace and acceptance efforts are going to be temporary. If I cannot master my thoughts and say I'm going to have good thoughts and good feelings only, peace and acceptance will be phenomena which will happen, but you will still struggle to keep it or anchor on it. Now let's go deeper into peace and acceptance. Why is it that we find it difficult to practice acceptance? Why is acceptance seemingly complicated? Why is it that we resist acceptance? Well, there are 4 main reasons. And let us explore and find out which one of these reasons is valid for us. And in these 4, let's see if you find some answers to your questions around peace and acceptance. Are you ready? Point number 1. We are too fearful. We have too much fear. If fear is the dominant emotion of our life, acceptance is not going to be possible. If I practice acceptance, then will I be exploited again? There is fear. If I practice acceptance, will I be hurt again? Fear. If I practice acceptance, won't somebody dominate me? Fear. We are too fearful. Now, acceptance does not mean allowing people to behave the way they behave. Acceptance means I understand this is a reality. So let's say somebody ill talks with you. Somebody blames you when it's not your mistake. Acceptance does not mean kuch mat bolo. Acceptance means, okay, here is a person who has a tendency to be judgmental. Here is a person who for some reason believes if he can disrespect me, he will get me to comply. It does not mean you will tell them it's okay if you do it for the rest of your life. That is not acceptance, that is giving up. Acceptance means understanding this is the reality. And now the mind finds ways by which we can solve it. Okay, this is how he behaves. What is it that I can do to ensure the same behavior is not repeated? Acceptance is always about the present. So my darlings, because we have been scared, because we have been scarred, because we have been hurt, because we have been given pain, and we don't like those parts of life, we believe that if I practice acceptance, I will go through trauma again and again and again and again and again. So this fear that trauma awaits me if I practice acceptance is what stops us from practicing acceptance. I have misunderstood acceptance a little over here. Acceptance means understanding the reality. This is how things are. What is point number two? Point number two is we are expecting too much from others. As a child, we were dependent on adults for our life. For us to get clean, for us to be given bath, for us to be given clothes, for us to have our food, for us to learn, we were completely dependent on others. But the definition of adulthood means now onwards, I am going to depend on myself. You become an adult when you can fend for yourself. In every life form except a human being, this is practiced. The lion teaches the cub to hunt. And once the lion believes the cub is ready to hunt, it will never hunt for the cub ever again. In fact, the cub has to leave and find its own space in the world. If it has to die out of hunger, so be it. Why? Because it has become an adult. Apna dhyan khud rakho. That's what adulthood is all about. We have too much expectation from others. We have discussed this earlier. I am discussing it again today. When you have expectation from others for others, it's a very positive thing. But when you have expectation from others for you, that's a little complicated. When your expectation from others for you is high, acceptance will be difficult. So let's say there is one thing called expectation and there is something called acceptance. High expectations, low expectation, like low acceptance. High acceptance, low expectations. Where do you think peace lies? Third, we lack faith. We just don't trust. Trust gives you thrust. You want that power, na? That force that comes from your ability to trust life. Whatever you are going through, is existence nudging you towards some greatness? You just need to find out what is existence telling me, what is life wanting me to understand. That is trust life. Activate your Sushumna, fill yourself with positivity. Not that positivity which is about giving up. छोड़ो, हमको resist ही नहीं करना, शायद यही मेरा किस्मत है. No problem, God. I'm talking about dynamic acceptance. मेरे को ढूंढना है इसमें अच्छा क्या है. I don't believe in जो हुआ सो अच्छा हुआ. I believe in जो हुआ उसमें अच्छा ढूंढ के निकालेंगे. When my parents expire, I won't be able to say जो हुआ जो अच्छा हुआ. But I will say जो हुआ ना उसमें कुछ अच्छा ढूंढ के निकालूंगा. Because I trust life. Point number 4, we are not humble enough. We are not humble enough. We are very touchy. We are egoistic. Ego and acceptance cannot walk together. When I ask for feedbacks, I have to be ready for many negative comments. Whether it's true or not is different, but I need to be ready. किसी को अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. Quite possible. I was seeing an awesome video yesterday of two good friends doing an extraordinary graceful dance. And one fellow in the comments has written, but the background frame is not right. And the person who's put the video out there, they should not get angry or hurt. ये क्या बकवास है, देख उसको तो background frame दिख रहा है यार. We are not humble enough. If I put something out there expecting appreciation, I should be ready to accept as much depreciation as others feel like. With humility, I should be able to say, if the frame was right, it might have been even better. Humility helps us to practice acceptance. Our ego wants us only appreciation. मेरे को सिर्फ वो बताओ कि सही क्या है, गलत क्या है. तुम keep be positive. Be a gold miner. Don't tell me what is not okay. No, if you express yourself and if you expose yourself to the world, get ready for breakbacks. If you are not ready for feedbacks, good or bad, right or wrong, it means you're not humble enough. If you're not humble enough, you will not be able to practice acceptance. When we stop the judgment in our head against others, remember when we discussed the other day, the should word, which creates so much conflicts. He should do this, he should have done that, they should not have done like this, he should have thought about this. Be humble. मैंने जिंदगी में 1000 गलतियां की और आगे और 2000 गलतियां करूंगा. तुमने भी शायद 25-50 तो किए होंगे. It's okay. And that's why Jesus said, let the first person who throws a stone at this lady be the person who's never committed a sin in his life. खुद पापी और दूसरों को बोलता है पाप क्या है. अरे भाई, खुद के पाप भूल गए. It's okay. Be humble. Why are we not able to practice acceptance? We are too fearful. We expect too much from others. We lack faith and trust. And we are not humble enough. If we can take care of these 4 points, it will lead to positive thoughts all the time, which will lead to, in its own way, the powering of your sushumna, which will lead to your life is not a reflection of the world outside. Your life is a choice that you're making in the world inside. Which will lead to an extraordinary life for you.